So I wanted to talk about the new league that Sorare has released, which is called the Specialist League. Now, I obviously understand that this is the first video on a brand new channel, and a lot of people aren't going to know who I am, my history with Sorare, my history with content creation, my gallery and my visions and all stuff like that. Now, all those kind of topics are going to be covered in the coming weeks. I don't plan to release any, if many, game week videos for the teams I'm entering because I want to wait until the new season. I'm going to be focusing mainly on 23s, under 23s around the globe, but also the European League specifically. The European leagues are what interest me the most. I don't really play in the Asians or within the Americans either. So that's going to give some context over the next couple of weeks over all those different topics. So don't panic. Today, though, we are going to cover specifically this Specialist League, which for me changes the game for Sorare for many different reasons. Rewards, the skill level of entering. Obviously, there's a skill level to avoiding players that don't play DMPs and picking the teams that are the right players that are going to win you rewards. But this is an added skill level with some of the requirements that are expected on you to enter a team. I think it also lowers the entry bar. Goalkeepers not so much, but it does lower the entry bar for people who are new to the game. So if you're on the fence with joining Sorare, you're not really sure what the game is, again, give me a little bit of a chance and we'll get some videos out giving you some more context and then why this league probably be really good for you to try and enter if you are interested. Alternatively to that, there is a link in the description, which is a referral link for my referral link. If you join with that, you get and buy 5 cards off the market. I will also get a free one, as will you. So yeah, go and do that. If you don't sign up with a referral link, that's absolutely fine, but you won't get that free card. But obviously, for complete clarity, I get one as well. Also, for a final little bit of disclaimer, I suppose, which we'll go with all these videos, this is never financial advice, and I can be wrong, believe it or not. Makes me sad that I'm wrong sometimes, but that's the truth of it. We can all be wrong at times, and I've got things wrong on Sorare as much as I've got some things right. But again, we'll cover all those topics in the near future. Let's jump into what the Specialist League is, its requirements, and why I think it's a really good place to start. And also a massive game changer from Sorare, so huge kudos to those guys. Alright, so just getting straight into it, this is the Specialist League. Its requirements are you're allowed limited cards only, which again are the 1 of 10, not 10,000, 1 of 1,000 cards. We're going to cover all the tier levels in a video pretty soon, or all the different card levels, the super rares, the uniques. Anything that you're basically like, what does that mean, will be covered in a video pretty soon. I'm probably repeating myself there, but I've just got to get a bit of time to get all the content out. I've been quite poorly, actually, so if I do sound a bit nasal, I do apologise. Bottom line is you need two players who are scoring underneath 40 over the last 15 games. You need one player that's scoring over 60 in the last 15 games. Again, this is out of 100. And then you need 2 players a maximum from the same team. You can only have a maximum of 2 players from the same team. If you look at all the other divisions, the limited divisions and the rare divisions and the normal main divisions they've always had, which are All-Star, which is any league, 23s, which is self-explanatory, Champion is the main 5 leagues within Europe, Challenger is all the other leagues within Europe, America obviously is all the American leagues, and then Asians all the Asian leagues. Now, similar teams win regularly, not all the time, but there's a little bit of meta behind picking the right team. You haven't got to necessarily pick the best players in the world, but picking the right players that score well in Opta, in particular teams, in particular games, like Ajax stacks, for instance, like playing all the same Ajax players together. Those things are quite powerful. This changes everything, this Specialist League. It really ups the skill level and is going to bring very much quite a diverse range of players to being used within Sorare. Players that really weren't valuable before now become quite valuable, but they'll remain on the cheaper end, which means the entry level is going to be lower. I'm just going to pull it up now. It'll be on screen as well, but I had a tweet reply which I think really sums it up really well from Scuds TV. It says, value to more cards on the market, lower paid entry point for SO5, market value of volatility on low end, impossible to have meta tactic, i.e. the stacking of players and so on. It's on screen there. I think it's a really good summary of what this is, the Specialist League, and I think it's a great step forward. I really do think it is. So before we jump into my team for the weekend, and I'll give you a little bit of context behind the players that I'm going to be playing in the Specialist League, I wanted to show you why this is such a game changer for me. Not only the skill level goes up and the diversity of player you can use, but the prize pool is ridiculous for a limited division. 48 rare cards are up for grabs, and this is the first time this has ever happened within the limited divisions. Now, I do believe, I'll cover it right now because no doubt it will be a comment or something about it. The Specialist League will probably come into rare, super rare, maybe as well. Definitely into rare, I would have thought, though. And it kind of offers that step into the next division, that upward mobility. So if you don't have the bank balance to pay for rare cards as they are right now, the chance of winning them from the Specialist League is quite high. Hence why 11,000 people have entered it this weekend, sorry. And 48 rare cards are up for grabs. 452 limited cards and 500 in the underdog. Now, what type of cards are you going to see available in the rares? Well, if you go and get Podium 1, you have a chance of likes of Kylian Mbappe, Joshua Kimmich, Vinicius Junior, Donnarumma, Messi. These guys are worth thousands. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Kylian Mbappe, for instance, who was on the thumbnail, he is currently selling for rare price 14 grand bidding, 19 grand by now. Potential of winning one of those with limited cards is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, up to 48 people will get a rare, down to tier 2 rares, and then obviously then the tier 2 limited start from 49 downwards to 500. That is the reason why this is such a huge game changer. That prize pool is ridiculous, and you're going to see some really cool teams winning those rewards as well, not your obvious usual stacks. That is why this is such a game changer, and hopefully a first step into Sorare doing more interesting leagues like this. So this is the team I've picked for the weekend. It's Yannick Van Oosh, who is my goalkeeper. He is a Fortuna Sittard player playing against Heracles in the Belgian division. No, the Dutch division. Dutch or Belgium, I can never remember. I get those two mixed up constantly. We have Tuta, who is a Frankfurt player playing against Greuther Fürth, who are down the bottom. If I butcher any of these names, I am really, really, really sorry. Bardi is playing for Levante against Getafe. No, Villarreal, sorry. Villarreal doing very well in the Champions League. Gonzalo Guedes, or is it Getch? I'm not too sure. Again, I'm butchering these names already. Great start to the video, Lee. He has missed last couple of games, but that was international duty. He is now my 60-plus player, he is. And then we have Youssef Demir, a well-known wonder kid from Austria, currently on loan from Barcelona, back to Rapid Wien, I believe it is pronounced. Let me go back to the stats view quickly. So obviously these little numbers down here are their previous performances, but we're looking at the overall 15. So Vanucci is a player that just fits in from anywhere, and I believe Tuta is as well. He's 48. So these two are just my two extra players that I've put in for today. I think Tuta should take a clean sheet this weekend versus Fürth, and I think Vanucci will have a chance of a clean sheet against Heracles. Bardi is my lower than 40, along with Demir. They are both actually on 40. Demir has scored okay recently. But he's up against Salzburg, which is also a difficult one. But Salzburg have been hit and miss, if I remember of lately. But he was kind of the only decent forward I had that was 40 down anyway. Other players would have included, Rossi's 44. Adamu's in the team at the moment, which would have been a good one, but I can't have him. Ackman again's 41, so I can't have him. Yaboa, but I don't know if he's coming off the bench. I'd need to check. Sadar's won, but Sadar's been coming off the bench for Leverkusen. Did score at the weekend for his international team, so he would have been a good pick, but it was more of a gamble than Demir, who Demir's guaranteed to start. And that's kind of it really from those lot. And Guedes was my 60-pluser because I wanted to use my other players elsewhere that were 60-pluses. And obviously Bardi is quite interesting player, actually. He's really important for Levante because he tends to take the free kicks, the penalties, the corners, that kind of stuff. He's more of a set place taker as well. He's very... he plays in the middle of midfield or out wide. He's very... For North Macedonia, he's an important cog, and from what I've watched of Levante, he is also that for them as well. And he does come up with a goal in play too as well. But I think he's leaving Levante at the end of the season on a free transfer. But so maybe playing for a bit of a shop window, who knows? But that's my team for the weekend anyway. And say they're going through the requirements. There's currently 10,800 managers entered. They'll probably be nearer 12,000 by the time this closes in an hour's time. But I think the entry requirements for this is really, really important. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a player who I would not necessarily use, but for this situation, is really good. So I'm a bit of an Eintracht Frankfurt fan. I have the majority of their squad. By the end of this season, I will have them all. I think I'm missing like Jan-Peter Haig and Sal and a couple of the people, but I've got quite a few of them. There's one guy in here, I think it's pronounced Jakic. I'm not too 100% sure I'm pronouncing that right, but he is a player that scores regularly in the 30s and the 40s. He'll again occasionally come up with a really high score of like a 70, but he plays like a holding midfielder role, I believe, and doesn't really contribute a lot on decisive scoring. Again, we're going to cover the scoring side of things. There's all round and there's decisive. He doesn't really score a lot on the decisive scorings, so he means he's a low scorer generally overall. His last 15 points, sorry, his last 15 games, stuttering my words there, are 36. If I quickly jump over to Sorare data and we type him in, we can kind of see, so you can kind of see here his price is really, oh my word. Okay, his price has rocketed in the last couple of days. This would be from the announcement of the specialist division, because he is going to play all the time. This is something that's really important, is finding these players that don't score very high but play literally all the time. I mean, he has his games where he's on the bench and does come off the bench, but majority he plays so regularly. I mean, he has got some really good scores back here. That was when he was at Zagreb though. I don't know if he's on loan or if he's moved to Frankfurt. I think he's moved full time, but since he's been there he hasn't really had massive scores, but he does regularly play, and this is an important type of player for you in this division, where before his value was like, well, his 3-day average is £14, but his 30-day average is £11. His £20 are currently floor price on the market right now. But this is the type of player that I'm getting at. Like, I don't know what I actually got him for. What did I get him for? I got him for £9.30. But he would be another player I'd never use in SO5 in any of my teams. But now with the Specialist League, very much potential that I could actually use him. Now, along with that, I'm not going to cover this one today, there's also the Underdog League, which is also interesting as well. It's 5 players with an average of 40 or below. Now, that would be the main reason why Jakic has gone up in price, because he fits in the Underdog League perfect. And it's just, I think it's just a great addition to this whole game. It's cutting that meta out, those stacking tactics, and it's bringing more scope to the players that just were never really going to be used. And now, actually, those people that were signing players for maybe £2, £3, £4 over the last couple of months with nothing really to do with them, now have also suddenly got more utility, and that's all it's about with this game. Is about utility. So I do think if you are on the fence with Limited and joining Sorare, this division really is one where you could start. You could pick up a team, I'm going to say, for less than £180. If you have that spare and you want to have a repeat bet and keep putting it in, week out, then this is the place to start. This league, for me, is a game changer. And if you're smart and you can have a look around Sorare data, you're going to find players like this who aren't massive scorers, but regularly play. Obviously decisive, he gets 35 to begin with because he starts. If he comes off the bench, he gets 25, which is obviously down here. And then his all-round score is what he does during the game. He's not an impactful player during the game, and he's a player that people would never use. This is just one example. But now it's going to be used a lot more. This Sorare data has had a little update recently, actually. It tells you what his main position is. It's central or right midfielder. I've not seen that before, which is quite cool. There we go, guys. That's all the video is for today. Just a little interest, or a little bit of a snippet into the Specialist Limited League. So going forward, there's going to be loads of content coming out on here. I just wanted to get something up now to get some life into the channel. There's going to be another video probably later with a friend of mine called Zealand, and we're going to be covering Americans under 23s players. If it's not out today, it'll be out over the weekend. And then going from there, we're going to be covering my gallery, my visions, little evergreen videos which are about the game, what Sorare is, how Sorare works. So if you're looking forward to any of those videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a little thumbs up on today's video if you can, and drop down to the comments. Is there a player like Jakic that you are aware of who is a great bargain pickup right now, who would work beautifully in the Specialist or the Underdog League? We will cover the Underdog League a different day. And again, if I will be doing game week videos, just not quite yet. I'm going to wait for the new season for game week videos instead of just spamming them out now. I'm going to start with a new whole season. But yeah, if there's not the Zealand video out next, it will be my gallery, just talking about my gallery and my vision. But yeah, loads of content coming forward. Looking forward to getting stuck in to Sorare content, which is exciting. I love the game. I did do some content on it before on my old channel, which is a Football Manager channel. But yeah, we're going to start a new one. And here we go. Thank you.